Good morning to everybody out there. Dave Hyde from the Sun Sentinel in with us while we're going through all this drama and all this stuff going on here. We'll be talking John the last night. If you're just waking up and for some reason didn't hear about it, John Harbaugh out as the Ravens head coach, let go, 64 years old, 18 years the head coach. Nobody lasts 18 years anymore. Nobody lasts 18
It is
years.
amazing, and
It's a hell of a run.
As soon as he was fired, everybody was lining up for him, including the Dolphins.
By the way, you lined up an article right away on that. Harbaugh, whatever you got to do, go get him.
Go get
the relationship,
Go get him, right?
Jim Harbaugh and Stephen Ross have a very, very close relationship. I don't think that's breaking any kind of news there. As a Michigan man and a guy that he once tried to make a little run at.
They couldn't get one Harbaugh, so get the other one right now. And he brings everything you need as far as organizational leadership, public credibility, good football decisions, and the only thing the Dolphins can really offer him, because it's not a good job right now with the roster and the salary cap restrictions. The one thing they can offer him is Steve Ross slides the keys to the franchise over to him and says, "You build your own franchise right now. This is yours."
Yeah.
And to that point, they already, after they put this list together of GM candidates, which over the preceding weeks they put it together, I'm sure, because they hired Troy Aikman as a consultant and all this stuff. 6 names they announced, and then late yesterday afternoon came a 7th name, Chad Alexander, LA Chargers. He works with Harbaugh's brother. He used to work in Baltimore.
They've done a lot of that.
So I think that's a bat signal going up saying, "We want you, John Harbaugh."
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So if you're John Harbaugh, you're looking at all these jobs because you're gonna get a call from all these teams: Arizona, Atlanta, Tennessee, the Giants, Cleveland, Las Vegas, and now Baltimore. Right, all looking for a head coach. I think you agree with me on this. The best job right now of all of them, is Atlanta. I think Atlanta's got a really talented team.
You know what? Here's the question. As you went through the list, what do you think?
They got 2 personalities. They either get blown out or they hammer somebody.
What do you think of Cam Ward? Ultimately might be a decision too, because you can rebuild the roster if you're John, but you need that quarterback. And they're opposites almost. Atlanta has a really good roster, I think, but I don't know about Michael Penix's health, and he's really up and down. Cam Ward,
we hammered them. Listen, we didn't hammer a lot of people. We hammered the Atlanta Falcons, and that was my shock of the season. It wasn't the Buffalo game; it was the Atlanta game of the way they beat them up, because that team, they had a running back which we stuffed. He didn't do anything against our front 7 defensively, but what do you have, over 2,000 total, 2,200 total yards?
And this was after Rico Dowdle and others ran through the Dolphins for career highs.
They got good receivers. They got their tight end, their kid from Florida, got his career going. They had a lot of good players and pretty good offensive line when healthy. That starting 5 is so anyway. This whole thing just got a lot more interesting as I believe the committee continues today, interviewing more people, try to get that done as quickly as possible and make some decisions with all this stuff leaking out and trying to figure out. We know Mike wasn't sitting in on the interview.
Yeah, but I think he did something more important than sitting in on the interview. When you look at the list, and there's 3 San Francisco 49ers. He was definitely involved. And so he knows those guys. And they asked their
questions, and they should have. Hey, Mike, tell us about these 3 guys.
And I think, look, if Mike's here, which right now it sure looks like he will be, you want him to get along with the GM. I mean, that's part of it. So I don't have any problem with that.
Yes, you have to have working relationships. There's just, oh, man. There's some things that need to get cleaned up that we do. Everybody's got to be on the same page. And it just hasn't been that way. I don't know about certain people that are involved. I don't know. Oh, man.
Let it loose, Joe.
I I'm not as high on Brandon Shore as everybody else is over there. I just don't like. He's been given all this say so and stuff, and why? What am I missing? What I mean, I
think
get the
that
salary cap. I get he knows the salary cap. Somebody's got to know it inside now. And doing contracts and looking out for the organization financially, which, by the way, you did a crappy job with those contracts you gave out a couple years ago on extensions. But go ahead.
Well, here's what I would say to counter. And again, I don't know Brandon Shore, to be honest. I don't know him at all. But the organization,
I really don't know.
The organization was so dysfunctional under Chris Greer. He's the one who stepped up to say,
he should be number one.
Do that.
Yes.
We can't do that. We shouldn't do that. And they did it, and they did it, and they did it. And so they're in salary cap hell.
But I think Chris just gives in to everybody. And I don't think he could stop. It was just his personality. Like, I kind of want to do this. And they go, no, we're going to do that. We want this. Okay, I get it. I get this. So, if you think this is.
But he was like enabled for his whole career. Every time he said, okay, you do that. Then he'd say, hey, I just did what they wanted me to do. I gave him, and he got promoted, and he held the job.
Corporate survivor.
Yes,
he is a great corporate survivor. Everybody works with one of those guys.
Well, I tell you, who's the great corporate survivor right now is Mike McDaniel. How did he separate himself from Chris? I thought they were married at the hip. How did he separate himself from Tua?
We have a history of that, though. Certain people go and certain people staying. Like, huh?
I didn't think Mike would be able to survive without Chris and Tua, and he has, and
that's a good point. That's a great
job.
Point.
Good job, Mike.
I Tua and Mike, and that was the thing, man. What Mike? Listen, Mike, in my opinion, got a lot out of Tua. Not this year. This year, something happened with Tua, and everybody's got a different conspiracy theory on what exactly happened to him. I think one thing's obvious. Physically, he's
diminished.
Not the same guy. Yeah. And I think with that, you lose confidence. And then you could tell by the play calling, the coach lost confidence in him. You just can't. I mean, you look at we're running the hell out of the ball for 4 weeks there. We win all 4 games. It was some of the worst quarterback play we've had. We literally, the only thing that wasn't playing, well, how often do you win 4 straight games and go, I don't care who you're playing, and go, wow, one good thing or bad thing is our quarterback's not playing well. And everything else was, the D-line, everything, and running game was spectacular. It was one of the top 3 running games during that time. They're running the hell out of the ball, and lefties literally, all you have them doing is bootlegs out there and throwing little short passes.
Never a good situation. Your biggest contract is your biggest problem, and that's really what happened to the Dolphins this year. And you know what? Mike pounded the table for that contract, and he solved Tua. He solved Tua when he came in, and that was great work by him. But then he misread Tua's career and thought he could win and got him the contract. And guys get fired for stuff like that.
I would love, because I don't think it's one of things Mike likes about this job. He had his meeting with Tua yesterday. That exit meeting.
Yeah.
And when I say exit, capital letters on that one. That would have been an interesting one. Listen,
if I'm Tua, Mike has done everything. If I'm Tua, I come in and I hug Mike and I say, God bless you. You changed my life.
Absolutely. By the way, you come in with any denial or anything but that. The only thing is, hey, I probably need a fresh start. I got some things to work on. And if Tua's looking in the mirror, he's probably going, hey, Mike, what do you think I need to work on? I know it's probably done here. And the second thing is, besides what do I need to work on to get to what I was before, if I have a chance, thank you very much for making me a lot of money, because I know you went to bat. Well, it was public. Yeah, I probably went a little too far, but I wanted Tua here. And now it's part of our biggest problem we have. One of them is the amount of money against the cap that we're looking at.
Everybody was looking out for Tua, and nobody was looking out for the organization, though, with that contract.
Well, we got certain people saying they were. We have certain people saying they were, because this is when everybody's at their finest after something's done, going, Boy, I'll tell you what, that wasn't my decision. Oh, Mr. Ross, a smart guy.
Well, he has the receipts on everything that
He's
everybody
like,
said.
all right, who? Hey, let's get back to the son-in-law. He ought to be going. Hey, by the way, as we're moving on here, what exactly? Can you run me through here, Tom Garfield? Come in here. Hey, Tom, run me through exactly how this all happened. That we got stuck with this guy at age 27, and now he can't play.
They got this gang of 6 with the Dolphins, and really 5. Troy Aikman's new, and I appreciate him as an outsider.
I do,
but
I don't have a
they have
problem.
so the gang of 5
least of our problems
with the Dolphins for years. If you're Steve Ross, I go down and I say, okay, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, tanking, Justin Herbert or Tua. The idea to sign Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. You have receipts on who's who, so should know who to listen to more or less.
Yeah,
right. I mean, but the hope to me is the son-in-law, Danny Silman, that comes with a sports entrepreneurial background.
Hey, maybe this thing's good because
a new voice.
He is a new voice, and maybe it's good. Maybe it's good. Maybe some new voices. Maybe we listen to the quarterback that's been around here, sitting around and doesn't make any waves, but people ask him to do things. Maybe we should listen to him besides being one of the greatest quarterbacks.
That's what I say.
Play.
Steve Ross knows what all these guys have been saying and who's given good advice and who maybe looking back we should have followed.
Yeah, one thing about Dan Marino, and I've known him a long, long time, he doesn't throw his knowledge of what he's done in anybody's face. He doesn't go around telling you he's one of the greatest to ever throw it. He doesn't do that. He doesn't throw that in your face at all. He's there to help. He's there if somebody wants, but he never goes out of his way to go, hey, this is what I did. And when I led the league in passing and broke all, he never does that. But I'm guessing he knows what a quarterback should look like. He wants somebody like him.
Big.
Physically big. 6'4", yeah.
Big
6'4",
arm,
225 is a
body.
good start. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just hey, I want a guy that's got a little of my makeup, and I know what my makeup is, and his a little different than all the rest of them with that greatness. But anyway, hey, we got to go to break here. We've got 7 o'clock hour. A lot of time to get to a lot of stuff. John Harbaugh out as the Ravens head coach. A lot of people predicted he's going to either be Tomlin or Harbaugh. And John Harbaugh was a 44-yard field goal away from getting ready for a home game in the playoffs, and instead he's out after 18 years. Wow, you can't make that one up.